Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny. I want to say this, folks, before we get started. Many of you know that we've been kind of under the weather for the past, well, almost 2 weeks. But I'm going to say this, you can't keep a good man down. Now, I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm still kind of on the sick side. But you can't quit. When the going gets rough, the rough, they get going. I mean, you've got to keep going. You can't sit down and surrender to an illness. You can't do that. So basically, this is the first video that I've done in about, well, almost 2 weeks. But I've got a project here that I have put on the back burner, and many of you have seen the videos of my old Ford. Now, just because we haven't got it finished, that doesn't mean that we won't eventually get it done. Now, I am sanding this thing. I've still got a lot of stuff in the back of it. It's got a lot of junk in there, and of course I've used it for my tailgate of it. I've used it for like a table, if you will. But that's not going to hurt it. I mean, that's the way the truck is made to use, and when you have a truck, you use it. I mean, to me, it's kind of silly to go around and maybe say, well, I'm afraid I'll hurt my truck. I can't put this or that on it or whatever. It's a truck. It's made to take this kind of treatment. I mean, you don't have to beat it up. I mean, just normal wear, tear, and use. That's what it's made for. But we're going to strip. We've already done this, and as you can see, we are stripping this old paint off. Now, I'll tell you something that I didn't tell you prior on this old truck. It's been in the process for about a year of being restored. Now, some of you know that. And I had this painted about 20 years ago. We had it painted about 20 years ago. And unfortunately, the guy that done it really didn't do it a good job. When in actuality, you would probably, and some of you would say he did a sloppy job. But nevertheless, this thing's got 3 coats of paint on it. And so I'm currently taking it all off with this. I'm using this grinder with the sanding pads to remove it. And as you can see, I'm trying to take it down to the bare metal as much as possible. I'm not going to leave a lot on there. But this part right here, I've sanded it to a degree, and I've got to go back over it with some more Bondo and feel the cracks that remain, and then go back over it again. Now, I am going to take my time, and I'm going to take this paint off of this truck. Have you ever heard the old phrase, if you want something done right, do it what? Do it yourself. This is a DIY project that I don't trust anybody else to do but myself. Now, I will remind you, you don't have to be a professional to be a DIY man. No, you don't. I'm far from a DIY. I'm far from a professional body man. But I do it because I know if the other guy can, I can as well. So I'm going to start. I've started right here, and there's a few bees floating around here, but they won't bother you. I've done this part back here, the back quarter panel, and I'm making my way all the way around it, So let me hit some right here. I think my pad is just about ready for a new one. So I'm going to do this right here, start right here, and of course eventually go all the way around. Oh boy, I wish that today's cars and trucks had metal in them like this thing has got. Of course, being back in the late 80s, they still made pretty good metal. And this stuff is living proof of it. It is real solid steel. Now, of course, you know that this is the beginning of this sanding process, and it is going to take me quite some time to get this done. But my plan is to take it all off, every bit of it, take it off. I gotta take my taillights out, and of course I gotta get my headlights out, and some of these sidelines, or lights rather, and of course my plan is to completely paint it. Do a complete paint job and do it right. Now, it will take me quite some time, so you might see more videos on this in the near future. Now, of course, I want to talk just a little bit more and tell you that I've still got to have some more tests. I'm currently awaiting tests that I've got to get done. Got some appointment to go very shortly and get more tests done. But we're trucking along. We're doing the best that we can. And of course, my wife, she still is taking chemo, and she's got lots of treatment yet that she will be doing in the future. But you can't sit down. Listen, folks, when the going gets rough, you have got to get going with it. You can't sit down just because things might be falling apart in your life or in your circumstances. You can't sit down and surrender to illness. You've got to keep on keeping on. That's what I am doing. I will tell you up front, and I'm honest with you with this project here. I really don't feel up to doing it, but I'm doing it anyway because you just can't sit down. Things are not going to get better by you sitting down. You've got to take the upper hand and continue on. So that's what I am doing. So let me get back to work here. I'm sharing this with you because my audience, you are my audience, and I value you highly. I do. And I wouldn't be here without an audience, and I just want you to know that I'm being upfront with you and open. and most of all, honest with you. But I'm going to go right on here. And this is going to be a short video because I don't want to keep you too long. But you get the point. By the time I get through with this, and I don't know how long it's going to take, and I'm glad I'm doing it outside because the dust is going to go down on the ground, and it might, of course, get on my house or whatever. But there isn't anything a little water won't wash off. So let's get back to work. I'm about through with this pad. I believe it's just about gone, but we're going to go with it until it does. That is telling me that that thing is completely gone. So I'm going to rip it off and we'll put another one on. These things they're P80, the sand and texture, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete the job. I might have to go up to 100 with it on the thickness and the texture of these little tiny discs. But nevertheless, whichever, we will be a while doing this. Now we keep the motor of this truck. I start it occasionally and let it run, maybe 10, 20 minutes, something like that, because we don't want it to be sitting a long period of time without it running. So we do that regularly. And I'm going to take it up off the ground. Now I'm getting ready to close this video out, but I've got to take it up just a little bit. I want to jack it up and make it a little bit more easier for me to do this sanding, because I'm a tall guy and it's somewhat difficult to bend over and do that. And it's a little bit better if I raise it up probably another 3 or 4 inches if I can. I plan on doing that, raise it up. And also I just got them changed a day or so ago. I am putting, after I get this done, I will be putting 4 brand new tires on this thing. I've already got them put on the rims, and they're in my storage building or my workshop. They're in there, and immediately after we get this done, we're going to jack this thing up. Now I'm talking about, I'm going to raise this thing. I'm going to raise it up about 2 inches, at least 2 inches in the rear and maybe 1 inch in the front. I've got plans to do that. I'm going to raise it up and get it up. Now the tires I'm putting on it are brand new Firestone tires. They're big, wide 60s. They're going to make this thing look good. They're going to make it ride good. They're going to make it really, really look great. And with a new paint job, I believe it'll look even a whole lot better. It will. So listen, thank you for watching our videos. We're going to close this one out, but we're going to continue on doing this until we get her done. But you're important to us, and that's why I say I appreciate you watching our videos. So keep us in your prayer, if you will, in your prayers, and I certainly would appreciate it. And look for our other videos that will be coming out shortly, getting this thing really like we want it to be. It takes time. Doing something like this, folks, is not easy, and it's definitely not fast. It's a slow process. So listen, if you like this, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you have a blessed day.